I've lost audio.
Now, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear.
It's that camera again. Okay, well, welcome everybody. I'm glad Carol told me. She is on top of it this morning for our Guest in the Nest series. But once a month, I'm inviting a friend, a creative friend, and a fellow business owner to join me for some creative time, and so that you guys can get to know our friend. Our new friend today is Carol Adams from Carol Adams Creations, and we're going to get into everything about Carol. I want you to know a lot about her, what she does, who she is, where she's coming in from. But before we get started, why don't you guys in the comments, if you don't mind, please let us know that you're here. It's always way more fun to share with you when we know who we're sharing with and where you're coming in from, especially if you are coming in from Carol's page, Carol Adams Creations here on Facebook. Please make sure that you let us know that you're visiting us here at the Comfy Nest with Grace. Carol is going to take a minute and share this stream over to her page as well, so we can get as many creative, crafty chicks hanging out with us this morning. Now, Carol and I know each other very surface. It's very surface. We're just going to get to know each other today. I'll be totally honest with you. I am just meeting her myself. We are both members of the same coaching group, which I absolutely love the coaching group that we're in, Carol. I feel like it's not only helpful for me personally, like all the technical help and information, but also the networking. And what I'm hoping with getting to know each one of you a little bit better is future collaborations, because I think that together, when we're sharing not only our talents and our passions for creativity, we're also sharing our audiences and our friends. So it just gets us all to know more people, which I think is a beautiful thing. So I could see people are here in the comments. Good morning to Mary and Wendy and Janice. Jennifer says, good morning, Miss Grace and Miss Carol. How polite you are, my darling. How polite you are. I love it. I love this. Look at the little flower she gave us.
Oh, good morning.
Yeah, Wendy's saying hello from Wisconsin. Yes, let us know where you are coming in from. Carol and I are both going to be making ATCs today. You see on my table, I have 3 cards here. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I feel like playing with color. So I did grab my crayons. I got some crayons. And we're just going to be, our hands will be busy while our mouths are sharing and talking. And as we get to know Carol.
You're asking me to multitask?
Yes, that's what I'm asking. We can do it. We've got creative minds, right? We should be able to do this. I sent Carol, in true ATC mystery box fashion, I sent Carol a mystery mailer, a package of supplies that actually, Carol, you don't know this, but they actually come from the supplies. So a group of fellow creatives and me, we have this ATC mystery box subscription group. So every month we send a mystery pack to a bunch of ladies who sign up for this. And then together we create live, and we're having a party today, and we did a secret sister swap, and we're revealing our secret sister swap today in a little party we're having inside the group. We do this every month. So the things that I've sent to you were things that have come from some of the past mystery box mailers from the subscription group. So you're going to get some tissue papers. You'll see when you open it. There should be some focal points. There are a few cards for you to use. Card backs. I don't know if you guys know what a card back is, but when you trade ATC cards,
yes.
They're little cutouts that have the information about who made the card, what they're calling the card, the date, and then any notes. You can note the materials that you used or how you met the person that you swapped your ATC card with, your artist trading card with. So there are some of those in there for you to use. It is kind of like a mini mystery box that I sent you from our subscription group. So I hope you have fun opening it.
Oh, that sounds great.
You smell it. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to let Carol introduce. Look at how bright and beautiful she is, you guys, this morning. I love her pink. She's going to introduce herself, tell us where you're coming in from, like how you got started with your business, what kind of creating you love to do. We want to know it all. We want to know it all.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Carol Adams, and I started Carol Adams Creations about 2 years ago. And it was during probably, 3 years ago, because it was during COVID, and I just needed a creative outlet, and just decided to start doing this, and just been enjoying the journey. And I live in Mesquite, Texas, which is south of Dallas, and married for 43 years. Had to think about that one. Married for 43 years.
Good
We
for
have
you.
three children and two grandchildren, and we've just been blessed. And so
That's lovely. Are your children, grandchildren close to you in proximity? Can you see them on a regular, or are they far away?
Yes. I only have one that lives, she lives in Austin, which isn't too far, but my two grandkids live here, so I get to see them all the time.
Oh,
So,
that's nice. How old are they, Carol? Are they like school age kids, or are they still younger than that?
my grandson is 12 and my granddaughter is 5 going on 21. And she just started kindergarten and has that typical, 5-year-old attitude. So
Oh, I love it. I bet there are some grandmas. We got a lot of grandmas here at the Comfy Desk with Grace, and I bet there are some grandmas out there just giggling, thinking, "Oh yeah, that's my granddaughter."
yeah, yes.
You're describing my little girl there. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for sharing all of that about you. I did not realize you were in Texas. Are you like a native Texan? Did you grow up in
Yes.
Texas? That's your place?
Yes, I
Yeah.
have. Yes, I've born and raised right here in Texas, and not too far from where we are, and for where I am right now. And never
Yes.
lived anywhere else.
You never migrated anywhere else. I love it.
No.
I pulled a report recently for my membership group, specifically the people who are in my like paid membership club. There is a good number, like a good percentage of the ladies in my group are from Texas. So all you Texans out there, say hello to your fellow neighbor here. You're going to find there are some other ladies here that hang out at the Comfy Nest who are from Texas, which is so funny because all the way up in North Dakota.
Oh, wow.
You really, honestly, it's just fascinating to me, this whole social media thing, that it allows us to connect.
Oh, I agree.
I would never have met any of these people pretty much.
Right.
The majority of the people who hang out with me on my business page are not people that I know in my town. The
Right.
majority of the people that I hang out with, do you find the same thing on your page? They're from all over the place.
Right. Yes.
Hugely valuable, because like I said, we would never be able to make a human connection, even though I know it's not like in person, but even though it's online, we would never make that connection without social media. It's a brilliant thing.
Yes, I have one member, her name is Jimmy, and I think she lives in Montana. I'm not certain. I can't remember. But I didn't hear from her she didn't respond to any of, comment on any of my Facebook lives for several weeks. And it was like, I'm getting worried about her. I felt like she was just a sister that I needed to check on.
Yes.
And come to find out, her husband had surgery. So she was taking care of him and didn't have time to get online. But I was like, I missed you. Where are you?
Isn't it? That's what I'm saying. It's fascinating to me. And maybe because my kids probably aren't as fascinated about this stuff as I am because they're younger, right? But,
Right.
Being a Gen Xer, I just turned 51. I feel like I didn't grow up with cell phones like our kids do now, right? I didn't have cell phone until well after I was out of graduate school.
Right.
We didn't have a phone to like connect with social media. Email just came out and we were like, whoa, you can send a message to somebody electronically. Yes. That was wild to me at the time. So I know I'm dating myself, but it still just blows my mind that we can make all these connections.
No, I can date myself even more. The first cell phone that I ever saw was this big, huge box.
Yes. Yeah, me too. Yeah.
And
Yeah, same here. Yeah. And, being able to connect with people from all over the country in a way that you're missing your particular person. You're like, where is she? I wonder how things are going. It's amazing. And it's really a good thing. I know that we can say social media in a lot of ways can challenge our culture, but in a way it's really good too. It helps us all connect. So you're getting lots of great welcomes in the comments. Jerry saying good morning from Spring, Texas. So there's one of your native Texas.
Oh, yes. I almost stopped in Spring. I was driving back from Houston and we just didn't have time, but it's been a long time since I've been to Spring. It's a wonderful it used to have a wonderful downtown, old world, old houses and everything else. It wasn't like a shopping center or anything, but it was all these shops. And we used to go there all the time. It's been a while since I've been there.
I've never been to Texas. I haven't
Have
been
you
there
not?
once yet. No.
Wow.
It's interesting. I grew up in Massachusetts. I went to college in Pennsylvania. So I lived in Pennsylvania for like 7 years, almost 8 years. And then I went back to Massachusetts to go to graduate school. And then I moved here to North Dakota. So I drove around New England a lot. I was an admissions counselor for the college that I went to my first few years working. And my territory was New England because I was from Massachusetts. So I would load up that car. It was a Cutlass Ciera. I would load it up with pamphlets. And I would do all the college tours, or like the college, like craft fairs, they have college fairs.
Yes.
Where all the colleges would set up at the Civic Center, and I would represent our college, and I would do high school visits. So I saw lots of New England that way.
I gotcha. Yes.
But I really haven't been a whole lot of other places. I've been to Florida a few times for vacation, but there's so much of the United States I haven't seen yet. So it's, like I said, so much fun to connect with all these people from all over the place. Joy is here from Ohio. She's saying it's rainy and cold. Hello, Debbie. Carol Maloney. She's here from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, where she says it's snowy and icy today. Janice Thompson's here from Fargo, North Dakota. We got Pamela from Missouri, Dana from South Carolina. Thank you. Teresa Oliveri Grant is here. Do you know Teresa?
Yes, I do. Good morning, Teresa. How are you?
Isn't this so fun? Teresa, I got to get you on the lineup as guest in the nest. We got to get you here so everybody can meet you too, because it's just really fun to make more connections, I think.
Oh, I agree.
And I feel like, Carol, do you do any events, any creative events on social media? Have you been doing any of them? Where like there's an event, say for like a Valentine's Day event, and everybody does a Valentine's craft, and it hops from one person to the next.
I've done a few. Yes, I would love to do more. Excuse me. I would love to do more, but I did Teresa's 31 Days of Halloween.
Yes, I did too.
Yes, that was just loads of fun. I really enjoyed that. And then I've done a couple of others, but would love to do more this year.
So what I was going to say, that I think that they're awesome. They're awesome events, but I've been feeling lately like they're very quick. Like, and you're so focused on the project that it's hard to make a connection.
Right.
I used to do Guest in the Nest, like, my gosh, my business page was kind of messed up a couple of years ago. It got hacked and taken over for like 4 months. And I was doing Guest in the Nest before that. And then trying to reestablish my page and get it go again. I didn't do it for a long while. And I'm just bringing it back in the last like 4 or 5 months. I've just started doing it again. And I'm glad I'm doing it because I said in the little promo graphic that I created for us, it's about making stronger connections with people one-on-one, which that's what I feel like gets lost a bit in those big, huge 2-day events where it's just a creative after a creative every half hour. You see someone new. It's really hard to get to know somebody.
I agree. Yeah. And you just find yourself, just kind of fast forwarding through everything so that you can actually see everything.
Yes, exactly. So I'm really happy you said yes. Bob is here. Do you see the comment?
Yes, he's my husband.
Bob, you're a good man. You are a good man coming to visit us. Everybody say hello to Mr. Adams. Mr. Adams there in the comments. Is he as bright and beautiful as you are? I'm sure.
Yes. He'll probably tell me how many times I said and okay.
Oh, Bob, it don't matter none to us here at the Comfy Nest. Listen, we are all about, seriously, I'm really trying so hard to keep things super casual. Did you see me yesterday with my mustache on?
Oh, no, I did not.
I've instituted Mustache Monday. This is so silly.
How funny.
I was decluttering some stickers that I had, and I found this mustache sticker like a few weeks ago. And I was like, what the heck why do I have this? And what am I going to do with it? So I put it on and everybody was laughing so hard. And I thought, listen, this struck a nerve for people, like these dang mustaches. So I've instituted Mustache Monday here for the sake of being fun and silly. And let's not worry about being perfect or grammatically correct or any of that crap. We're just going to have some fun. So Joy is saying she loves that Bob is here. Love it.
I can't tell you how many times I have said, do as I say, not as I do, because I'm
Yes.
making some mistake while I'm doing it and going, man, why did I do that right now?
Oh, I'll be honest with you, Carol. I have bad habits. I have been known to stick the same paintbrush that I'm putting in my glue, then to stick it in my paint. Like I'm bad. But I like, it's how I am. I try not to be too rigid. Like I'm so rigid in so many places in my life, and I was
Right,
such a perfectionist for so long that I realized it was just taking all the fun out of my crafting. When I tried to
right,
start crafting and I was trying to be so dang perfect and follow all the rules, then I wasn't having fun with it when I felt like I had to follow rules. So
right.
I tell people when I double dip, I say, you probably shouldn't do this, but this is the way I do it. Same thing. Like, I know like any true artist out there watching me is cringing right now, but I don't care. That's not what we're about here. We're just having
That's
fun.
right. That's right.
Yeah. Vicky's saying, good morning, Grace. Cold with a dusting of snow and strong winds. We'll rewatch later. Vicky's coming in from Oklahoma. She's heading to prayer time with a friend. Well, God bless you,
Oh,
Vicky,
that's
and your girly.
wonderful.
I
That's
love that.
wonderful.
That's good news. That's really good news. So I wonder, Carol, because I'm just getting to know you, what kind of creative projects, if someone goes to visit your page, what are they going to see there? Like what kinds of creating do you like to do? Is it more artistic? Is it crafting? Is it textiles? Is it mixed media? What do you love? Tell us about you.
Probably more mixed media. Um, I would love to be a better painter, but that's kind of one of my goals for the year is to just to practice. I think with anything, with any art, um, it's not an instant. I mean, some people probably are, but for me, it's not just an instant, oh, I can do this. It takes practice. And I think we as adults do not want to practice. We want it to come instant. And then when it doesn't, it's like, put that aside and let's pick up something else. And
Mm-hmm.
so I like I said, I do a lot of mixed media, a lot of journaling, and just kind of some odds and end crafts. I also do Bible journaling.
Oh, do you really?
Excuse me. So that's been fun.
And is
And
that something new for you, or have you been doing that for a while? I'm just curious because I don't do that, but I love seeing people's pages. I'm fascinated by it.
that's kind of where I got started, is with my Bible journaling. And then I kind of veered off into the, quick and easy crafts. But this year I'm hoping to do a Bible journaling workshop on hymns, like, blessed assurance, how great thou art, is well with my soul, and to do some other things and really get back into my Bible journaling.
I love to hear that. I'm so happy that I'm so happy that we're connecting and that you shared that. Couple of things. I don't do Bible journaling. I just told you I admire it when I go on Pinterest and I see people's spreads that they've shared. I'm always like, oh, wow, like that's beautiful, or oh my gosh, how moving. Sometimes it's really it what people depict in their artwork on their pages can be really moving. When you take it in to context to what is on the page, it
Right,
becomes really that much more meaningful. So
right,
for somebody who loves Bible verses and loves and is inspired by the word of God, that can be so meaningful, like a really meaningful way to be creative. But I've never done it. So I'm going to just take a minute. I'm going to share your I've shared it already, the link to your page. I'm going to share it in the comments too, so that if anybody is interested in that, she's saying that, Carol, you're thinking about doing a workshop in this coming up. So if you're thinking you might want to workshop in Bible in this Bible journaling, or if you're interested in pursuing that more, since it's one of the things that Carol does, make sure that you go over and follow her page so you can connect with her on a regular basis, because you ain't gonna find that here. I it's not that I don't admire and love it. It's just I find that there's only so much time in a day, and I already have so many things that I'm not getting to, that I have to say I just can't add one. As much as I love exploring new things, I can't add one more thing right now. So for
right, right.
sure, if you want Bible
Yes.
journaling, go follow Miss Carol. Go follow her. I will be too, because I admire it so much. Maybe someday I'll be able to do that. But in this season in my life and business, I have to focus on what I got, which I don't even feel like I do that well. Like I
Well,
need to not add anything else. And this is, I think, a true creative's challenge. When you love to
yes,
just create
yes,
all the things, do you find that challenging to like
yes.
say this is what I'm going to focus on?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I guess I am right now, trying to decide exactly where my focus is. Because I just do so many different things and sometimes it's, I feel like I spread myself way too thin and try to do
Hmm.
too much. So
Hmm.
my word for the year is to prepare and
Oh,
to take the time to prepare things, not wait till the last minute to do the things that I want to do or that I need to do. And so that's kind of where I am this year.
I love that word. I have not heard that word yet this year. So that's awesome that that's your word. If it's really resonating with you, these word of the year is that's what it's all about, is finding something that resonates for you to help you grow in any way, any way. It can be grow physically, like become more physically healthy or strong. It can be about becoming more mentally healthy and strong, or with your nutrition. It can be any part of your life. But I love
Right.
that prepare is your word for the year. I love it. Well, it's I'm so excited that you're here. I'm so excited that we're doing this again here on the page. Um, so in the comments, for those of you who are hanging out with us, hi Anne. Anne saying hello, Carolyn Grace from Chile, Northern Ireland. Welcome,
Oh
welcome,
my
Miss Anne.
goodness. Wow.
We're happy to have you. We would love to hear from you. Jennifer says there are no rules in crafting.
That's right. That's
This
right.
this topic of like okay, I want to explore as much creativity as possible in my lifetime.
Yes.
However, I'm feeling the older I get, the more I want to do, the more I want to try and explore and do, but I feel like my time and my resources are more limited. I
Yes.
think maybe I'm just more responsible with my time. It's not that they're more limited. That's probably not the way to say it, but I feel like I make more sensible choices. I
Right.
literally was talking yesterday about buying. I don't remember what supply I was saying I wanted to buy, but now that both of my kids are like a year, less than a year, and less than 2 years away from starting college. So I have
Mm-hmm.
two kids in college at the same time. Everything I do is like, oh, I should save that for college funds. I shouldn't spend that now. I don't need new leggings. I need to put that $40 in the funds for college. Everything that I do has the background of this college fund in my mind. So it limits me. Yeah, my time and my resources are limited to what creativity I can do. So I wonder from the people in the comments, do you guys ever feel limited? Like I would love to explore more textile arts, but I don't have the time, space, or money to do that right now. So I focus on what I've got.
Right.
I just want to do it all. Like creatives, we want to do fabrics, we want to do ceramics, we want to do resin. I've never tried resin. I bought the stuff, never did it because I'm a little afraid of it.
There's
I
nothing
wanted,
there's nothing to be afraid of. I've done plenty of resin stuff.
oh,
It just takes time, and you got to kind of prepare for it, and just follow the instructions.
follow the instructions. Yes.
Stir slowly, stir long, and then do your pouring. So yeah, resin is fun.
There,
Yeah.
yeah, so obviously you do resin. You're comfortable with it. You like it. Another reason to go follow Carol. I've never done resin here. This is why this is so perfect. Let's get everybody get connecting with you for these things that they're certainly not going to find it here for sure. I have a few creative acquaintances, friends who do resin. Deb with Art and Grace, do you follow her? Deb with Art and Grace.
I'm not certain.
She's been doing a lot of resin lately, and her stuff, I'm like, she had some really beautiful Christmas, because we just came off that season, some beautiful Christmas things. And I was like, oh, dang, Deb, that's good stuff right there. And I love it. I admire it so much. Amanda with Metal Modern Designs has a store in Florida, and she's by the sea, by the ocean. And so much of what she does is ocean themed and
Mm-hmm.
beautiful, like seahorses and,
Mm.
everything beachy and
Yes.
sand. And her pieces are amazing. So if you're a resin art fanatic, those are two other creatives that I could absolutely recommend that you follow. And
Awesome.
yeah, Metal Modern Design. I know that Amanda, for sure, she has had a membership in the past for people who want to really delve strongly into resin. And I'm more than happy to help you guys make those connections. If I know another artist who does something, especially if I'm not doing it, it's like, for sure, go follow Carol for Bible Group. I think that's a really smart way to do it.
That's right.
So
That's right.
Maureen and Sue and Joy, they're all saying hello. Oh, Anne says, I'm following Carol's page now.
Yay!
That's what we want.
Thank you.
Meaningful connections. This is what this is all about. I'm so excited. So you guys in the comments, if you don't mind sharing, we would love to hear your perspective on this idea of, are there crafts and creative things that you would love to do, but you just haven't because you feel in some way restricted? For me, it's time and money, but it could be restricted in other ways too. It could be your, like, where you're located, or I don't know what it could be, but that's why I'm asking in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.
I think also it depends on your space. You know, if you're like, you know, if you're crafting in your kitchen, it's kind of hard to do a great big old painting or, you know, something like that.
Yes.
And, you know, and so to me, you've got to kind of look at your resources, look at your space, and then make the decision. I know for me, I think I read somewhere that some woman was 2024, she was not going to buy any art supplies. She was just going to use up what all she had. And I would like to go that direction. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm not going to go out and buy art supplies, but you know, I just have so much,
Yeah.
and so many things that I purchased long ago that I've either forgotten about or I have no clue how to use it. So I kind of, you know, pastel chalks and,
Yes,
you know, watercolor pencils and just things like that I really would like to this year explore and relearn how to use some of the things that I already have in my stash.
right. Oh, I love that you brought that up. Pastels is something I've always been fascinated by too. That's another really good conversation topic for all of us creatives is, do you have supplies in your stash that you haven't used that are just like knocking you on the shoulder? Like for me, it's the resin. I have it. I never used it. I'm a little afraid of it. Is there something that you've purchased in the past that you just like, someday I'll use it, but I haven't? That's another really good conversation. And, you know, talking this stuff out, for me personally, it feels really good because it's, first of all, it tells me I'm not alone. I'm not the only person who has purchased a supply in the past and haven't used it yet. And I'm not the only one who struggles with the restrictions of time, money, and space, as Carol's bringing up, and what you can do. Cheryl from Mama P's Crafty Creations, about a month ago, maybe it was a little longer. I don't remember, but Cheryl, she just joined the Nook too, by the way. Carol.
Oh, wow.
She's a new Nook member. That's our coaching group. It's not my coaching group. It's the coaching group that we all belong to. Serena is our coach, but we all belong to the same coaching group for creatives who are trying to earn profits and run a business while being creative. Anyway, she was creating a barn quilt recently. And we were chit-chatting like this, not live on social media, but we were just chit-chatting on a video conference call with another creative friend. And she was like, girls, I did not realize how big this barn quilt is. She's like, I'm running out of room on my dining room table to create this thing. Because as she was doing it, it was getting bigger and bigger. You know, to put it on the side of the house, it needs to be rather big.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't have a barn quilt, but it's another thing that I love. I love seeing them on other people's houses.
Oh, I do too.
Kimberly wants to know what we're working on this morning. We are both doing artist trading cards. We're both doing artist trading cards. So Carol,
which I'm trying to do. I'm enjoying talking more than creating. But
you know what? It's like I said, there ain't no rules around here. It's totally good. If we don't get done, what I usually say is, let's just try to finish it offline. Then, you know, I try to keep the guest in the nest to about an hour, our visit. to respect your time, to respect our viewers' time.
Right.
So if we don't finish them now, we can finish them sometime in the next few days and share a picture. You can send me a picture of what you do, and I'll share it with all the ladies and remind them to go follow you for more
Awesome.
Carol Adams goodness.
Awesome.
So yeah,
Awesome.
I've invited several people. Well, I invited everybody. In the Nook, I kind of put that post in there that you responded to and said, who wants to be a guest in the nest? Like, come hang out with me, get to know my people, so we can introduce you to more folks. These making connections that are more intimate than the big. That's really what I'm going for. Like, this is a more connection with you than if we were both part of the same event and never talked to one another.
Exactly.
So I'm happy that you're doing it. And if you're in the Nook and you're watching this, please reach out to me, because I'm really so serious about having this be a regular part of the Comfy Nest with Grace, because it not only helps the creatives make connections, but it helps all of you out there watching to find more creatives who are maybe doing the things that you love or you want to explore. And it's a really organic way to meet other creatives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you mentioned that you're looking to doing a workshop on Bible journaling.
Mm-hmm.
Have you offered workshops before, and what in with that same topic or in different topics?
Really, that's one of my goals for this year, is to offer one workshop a quarter. And so my first one is going to be Bible journaling. At the beginning of the year, I did a free vision board workshop, and did some free worksheets to kind of help you work through what you want your vision to do. And so that was really fun. And I guess I did it more for myself, that I would work through those things to plan my goals for 2024.
Yeah.
and to make my vision board. That is something that I look at every day, and really try to focus on those things.
Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, as we're creatives, we are definitely super visual people. So it
Yes.
matters having that in front of you. I love to use books. I don't know if you caught yesterday. I created this book as part of an event about the theme of the event was new beginnings. So I created this book to put all of my little inspirations in. I was saying that I sometimes come across stuff on social media or in a magazine or in a prayer book that really strikes me, kind of like hits me in the chest, like, whoa, I needed to hear that today. And I take a snapshot of it on my phone, but then it gets lost amidst all the other photos and snapshots. So I'm going to start gluing them into, or writing them into, this book.
Oh,
so
that's wonderful.
Yes, I have one booklet with all of these passing motivations or Bible phrases or song lyrics that meant a lot to me. I can put it in the book, and it's really like, it'll be like a snapshot of where I am at this time in my life, which I think is
right.
cool.
Right.
Yes, I do love to use books for that.
Yes. I like to I actually like to repurpose them and make my own journals. And that's something else that I've done a blog post, but I would like to do that again. And what I do is, since I think 2014, I have been documenting my weeks. Some weeks I have, I have a lot of things, that I can put in there, of little snapshots or receipts, or just so that I can remember what I have done. And so, I'm continuing doing that. I missed out a lot on 2023 because I was focused on some other things, but so now I've got to get back into it. And so I'm hoping to get started with that. It's really a great thing that I enjoy doing, and especially my grandkids like to look at it. And if I'm with my own children and we start talking about something that happened but we can't quite remember when, I can go back and look in my journals and go, okay, it was March of 2016 that we did that. So that's really been fun, and I've enjoyed doing that too.
Good for you. I love to make books, but I admitted recently, to my club members, I love to make the books, and I feel, well, I didn't say this part, but this is true. I feel sometimes as a content creator, as somebody who's sharing things to inspire other people to create more often, this pressure or need, not by anything that you guys are doing. So if you're out there and thinking, I'm saying you're pressuring me, that's not the case. It's more internal pressure. It's coming from me. This
Yes.
pressure to like, I should show them something new. I should show them something new. But then I was thinking about it recently, because so many people, one of the most common questions I get asked about making books and journals is, what do you do with them afterwards? You've made it, and then what do you do with it? Well, I sell quite a few of mine because I make enough of them. I can't keep them all. So
Right.
I sell some of mine, and that's one way for me to earn income to pay for these college tuitions that are coming.
Yes.
But for myself personally, I've started to incorporate into what I'm doing live on camera with everybody out there in the world who wants to see it, how I'm using these books. Like in my craft therapy club, which is my membership group, we created a journal out of a hardcover book. So we all just grabbed any hardcover book that you're willing to sacrifice to this process. This one was Norwegian American Studies that I got from my local library sale. It was just a book.
Yes.
So I tore out the insides and we created a journal, a junk journal out of it. And I have been using this as my gratitude journal. We started this in November. We created the gratitude journal, and I have been journaling every Sunday since.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Doing some written journaling, which I have not done in years. I've not written. I go through phases in my life, and I used to write daily when I was maybe in high school, college, like before I had my kids. I used to write daily, and then I think once I became a mom, it just kind of went to the wayside, and I fell out of practice of it. So this was a way for me to showcase another way. I explained the way that I'm going to use this little book, but another way that you can use one of the books that you're creating. And I'm hoping to start focusing on that more, just to encourage everybody out there. I make them and I sell them. I make them to show and to do the workshop of how to make the book.
Right.
But I can't forget that then the most common question being, okay, now what do you do with this thing?
Yes, yes, exactly.
And I love that topic. I love it because whenever I ask that question to everybody who's out there, if you have a way that you're using your junk journals, throw it in the comments, because inevitably I find something new, a new way that someone's using it that I had not thought of.
Right, right.
That's really valuable to hear from other people. Like, how are you using your junk journals? Anne says, it's good to talk and realize we are not alone in some of our crafting foibles. I love that word, Anne. Crafting foibles, and they do exist for sure. They exist. Good morning, Jerry. Hello. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Janet. I see you. Kimberly wants to know what we're working on. We are both working on, in a very slow, methodical way, our artist trading cards.
That's
so
right.
When I was chatting, just for the benefit of everybody who's hanging out with us, when I was chatting with Carol yesterday about, or maybe it was this morning too, about what we're going to do today, I said the focus, although we will be creating, the focus is not the project when we do the Guest in the Nest series. The focus is the guest. So we're all here, all hands on deck to get to know Carol. And Mr. Bob, who's hanging out with us in the comments, which he's been very quiet, but we're happy he's there. Good morning, Missy.
Excuse me.
Oh, Jeannie says that she's putting her family tree in one of her journals.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's a great idea.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Yeah, that stuff gets lost. It does get lost. If you don't talk about it regularly, it kind of gets lost in translation.
Yes, it does.
Sure. So I think that's a great idea. All right, I got to find some ink pads here. I think I'm going to do some stamping, which I don't do very often, but I'm going to do a little stamping today. A little stamping action. I've been trying, like so many of us. The new year seems to be the time when we do this. I've been trying to organize the drawers that are immediately around me. I've been storing one drawer, all it has in it is paintbrushes that I have not opened yet. Why are they in a drawer right next to me? I should have something that I want to use on the regular.
Yes.
Right next to me, right? That within like arm's reach, as they say.
Right.
So I still haven't done it, but I'm going to empty that drawer so I can put something within arm's reach that I do want to use on a regular basis. So I reorganized my inkers a while ago, but then it's trying to get used to the new reorganization, right? It's like, where did I put those again? Oh yeah, that's right. I organized them over here.
Yes, I can't tell you how many times I've cleaned up my craft room and then I can't find what it is that I am looking for.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is so frustrating.
Oh, your hubby. Oh, I love it. He's commenting. He is saying hello. The good man. The good man. He heard me say, we know that you're there. Just enjoying the great and insightful communication between the two of you. Oh, is that your wedding photo? Is that the profile photo?
Yes.
The two of you?
Yes. Yes.
I love it so much.
Yes. 43 and a half years ago.
God bless
that was
you both.
us.
That's beautiful stuff right there. Beautiful, beautiful. Hey, Christina Martin. Thanks for being here. I almost never make an ATC card without layering some paper on there. Even if I started with my crayons and just put some basic color on these, it feels wrong to move ahead without putting some form of tissue paper or something.
Yes.
I don't know. Am I alone in that? I just feel like paper belongs on it. Or fabrics. You could put fabric too.
I've actually finished one.
I haven't. Look at me. How did you do that so fast?
You're doing all three at one time. I just did one.
Oh, I love it. I love the woman on there. And then I see some mushrooms. It says embrace.
Yes.
What does it say in color? What does it say behind in the black? What is it? It's covered up with a little fabric.
It's a map. It says Colorado.
Oh, it says in Colorado.
Yeah,
okay, gotcha.
In Colorado
gotcha.
on the side. Yeah. Yes.
Very cool. Look at you go. Girl, she finished her first ATC card. Give her some props in the comments. We got
Yay!
Get it, girl. See how fast and easy that was for her.
Yes.
Listen to Anne. Go ahead. Tell me.
I was just going to say, it's so funny that we're doing this because this is something that, I don't know. I was on Pinterest yesterday and it just seemed like, of course, every time you say something, that's when it starts popping up. But I started seeing all the, the ATC cards that are on Pinterest. And it was like, this is wonderful because it's something that is small. It doesn't take a lot of time, but you can kind of explore different color schemes or different, use different products on a little bitty tiny card, you know, that you haven't used or you don't know how to use it, and just to try it out on a little card. Right. It really is a great thing to do.
It's a good way to practice creativity, and it's a good way to just explore your creativity.
Right.
Whenever I'm talking to other creatives like you today, or like anybody, we all have our own styles. Just like we have our own way that we dress, we have our own way that we like to do our hair. Some of us like to wear makeup up. Some of us are more natural. We don't want the makeup. We all have our own style. And it's really a good way if you're a new creative, or if you've been creative for a long time and you're feeling dull like you're feeling bored with what you've been doing. Right. These are really small little snippets of creativity that you can explore a new style that you want to explore. Like I do a lot of vintage and I do a lot of natural colors like browns and just in nature, things that you would find in nature. But I really love bright colors. Right. Look at how happy I was to see you in your bright pink today. I mean, that is totally... That is not fake. That is totally legitimate. I absolutely love it. But I don't do it a lot in my creativity. So I tell myself, okay, Grace, you always use browns and neutral colors, like distressed coffee dyed papers, the vintage. So I have to say to myself, I'm not doing that today. I'm going to force myself to use the colors that I love and admire so much, but I just don't tend to grab them when I create. So it's a good way to explore. Right. Exactly. Another style for yourself. You don't have to just do distressed. Like I'm talking to myself as much as to you guys. You don't always have to stick with the same themes and color. Right. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the name of the artist. There's a woman that I took a painting class from. What the heck is her name? Oh, good gravy. I can't think of it. And I feel bad about that. I can't think of it. I have one of her pieces of art hanging in my bathroom because I love her art so much. But it's all very, very bright, whimsical, flowery, beautiful color. And I don't create that way, but I love it. I should create that way more often. And ATC cards, as you bring it up, it's a really good way to use up some of the supplies that you've gathered that maybe you haven't reached for on a normal basis.
Right.
but it's inexpensive. It's small. It's fast. You can travel with these really easily.
Oh,
Take
yes.
them with you in a little pouch and travel with them. So I think it's a good point that you bring up. Okay, wait. Anne says, I'm going to look at Anne's comment because I didn't get a chance to read it yet. The Guest in the Nest segment is Share Brilliance, Grace. Why, thank you.
Yay.
I feel like I'm visiting with both of you, and the companionship is lovely.
Oh,
Yay.
wonderful. Awesome.
And we are
Awesome.
accomplishing what we meant to accomplish. And I appreciate you taking the time to type that out, that comment.
Yes.
Because that's exactly what we're trying to do, is just have some real, legitimate, natural conversation that is more intimate so we can get to know each other better.
Right.
Anne says, I'm attempting a year-long ATC calendar. So ATC is Artist Trading Card, for those of you that are new to that term, that ATC thing. She's doing an ATC calendar challenge this year. It's invigorating because it's happening in small bites. I love that word, invigorating. First of all, it's a great word to describe what you're experiencing. And the small bites, just for those of you who don't know, an ATC card traditionally is a 2.5 by 3.5, which is the same size as like a standard deck of cards. So I made these. These are actually art journal prompt cards. We made these in the Craft Therapy Club. For those, some of us, sometimes we need a prompt to get started. We see a blank page, we see a blank card in front of us, and we're like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Right. And these little prompt cards give us some themes, like it'll tell you, use orange, do something with a bird. Like, it gives you something very specific to work off of if you're ever stumped. But a traditional ATC card is the same size as a traditional deck of playing cards.
Yes.
So it's a great way to use up those playing card decks that you've lost the one card and now you can't play cards with them. ATC cards are a great way to use those up. But they're just because they're so little, they're not very intimidating. You can make them pretty quickly. And if you decide to join a group like the ATC membership box that we have, and you want to swap them on a regular basis, meaning I'm going to send you one that I made and you send me one that you made. It's a really great way to collect other people's art or creativity.
So where can you find the ATC group?
If you want to join, I'll grab that link for you guys and share it with you. Thank you for asking.
Yes,
it's a monthly subscription box, but we have a private group here on Facebook where we get together regularly and create live, and then we do our swaps every month, which is super fun.
That is awesome. I would like to be a part of that group.
Oh, we would love to have you. Yes. And actually, Amanda Dorier, I don't know if you know Amanda, but Amanda and I are both administrators. Where like there are 4 creative businesses that came together to bring that to you guys because we wanted to collaborate and share the workload, share the fun, share like our audiences to bring four groups together instead of just, one of us doing it on our own. Again, it's another way to make meaningful connections is the way that we were looking at it. So I'm going to share the link in the comments for anybody who's interested. The doors to it open for 1 week every month. So every month you have the opportunity to join.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, if you want to join. And that would mean if you sign up in January, like if you sign up tomorrow, the doors open. If you signed up in January, you would get the February box and you would start in February with us. You'd get your box and be a member of the group and can jump right in. Yeah. So thank you for asking that question.
Yes, definitely.
Kimberly says an ATC calendar sounds very cool. Doesn't it though?
Yes, yes, she needs to tell us more information about that.
Yes, please, Miss Anne, if you're out there still, tell us about your calendar challenge. Is it sometimes these challenges, thankfully, sometimes they come from other creatives who pose the challenge out on social media and say, okay, everybody, let's do this for a few days or for a month or for a year. So is it part of an organized challenge, Anne, or is it something you're doing on your own personally? And are you making one ATC a day? What's the challenge exactly? We would love to know more. Oh, I wish she was online with us, like face to face. We could ask her those questions. I love chatting about this stuff. You guys are so fun. All right, I'm not making any progress. I'm going to go get some paper. You guys keep talking amongst yourselves. I just have to step out of camera angle here for a minute so I can grab some papers. Lisa, I see that Lisa is here in the comments. Lisa is one of the administrators, one of my creative friends who puts together that ATC box with us. So I can see she's there in the comments, which is fun. All right, I grabbed a few pieces of paper. It's not a lot, but it's something. I don't know why I feel so compelled to glue something down. I can't just paint, I gotta glue. But I think originally ATC cards were little like painted canvases. I think that's how they originally got started, where artists would paint little canvas, like it would be like a little canvas, and they would paint a bird or a tree or whatever they wanted. But I can't really sketch things out well. I'm not very good at that. So
No, I'm the same way. I call myself a coloring book artist. It's like, give me the lines and I can fill it in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not that good at drawing.
I haven't heard that phrase, but I love it. Amanda, who I just mentioned a few minutes ago, Amanda Dorier. She from Simply Flamazing Art.
Yes.
She is an incredible artist. She is so talented. She draws stuff out, like, or she'll paint a kitten, or I think she did for the Halloween event that Teresa hosted. I think she did, was it an owl she did? And I was like, dang girl, how did you draw that? I don't know how she gets so detailed and correct on all the details. She's really talented. Simply Flamazing Art, go check her out. She does do painting workshops. So if you want to paint more and learn how to do that. I love your phrase though, the coloring book artist. I love that phrase. I don't think I've heard that before. It's fantastic.
Okay, I'm fixing to use a sewing machine real quick. So
get it, girl.
Yes.
We love the sewing machine here.
Just letting you know.
Do it. Woo, look at her, girl. She's bringing in all the media. That is a true mixed media artist. Mixed media artist is just someone who combines different media, different supplies, as you will, to create art. So it's mixing paints with papers, and maybe you sewing on some fabric or gluing on fabric. It's a mixture of all those combination of supplies. It's just a fancy word for using what you got, using all that you have. And we actually, you said something earlier that like struck me, because one of the ladies in my in the membership group that I have, the Craft Therapy Club membership, she said her word or her phrase for 2024 is use more in 2024, because she has that same objective of using what she has and trying not to purchase more. And I was like, that's perfect. So we've kind of adopted Ruth's phrase. Everybody in the group is like, yes, we need to use more in 2024. Use more of what you got. Doesn't say you can't go buy something new. I'm always buying glue, like, because I go through so much of it. That's a consumable that you have to replenish, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I can't say I'm not going to buy glue this year. I'm constantly, seems like, replenishing my glue.
Well, you take a workshop from someone and you just feel like you have to go out and buy all the products that artist is using. And for me, it's like, use what you have to see if you like that process. And then if you like the process, then go out and get some maybe more expensive supplies or something.
Right.
But, I have so many things that I thought I had to have.
Yeah.
And they're in a drawer that I haven't used them since that one particular thing that I needed it for.
Right.
But that's what I like to encourage, my followers, is to use what you have, even if it's your kids' colored pencils.
Yeah.
Use that and then see if you like colored pencils. I'm not a colored pencil person, but I have about 4 or 5 different sets of them.
Mm-hmm. That's really interesting. I do see most. Well, and I will say there is a difference in my mind, albeit I think most of us do both of these things. I don't know if I should say that. There's a difference between crafting and creating to me.
Yes.
Crafting to me is more like using a purchased surface and, like, how would I explain this? Like, you bought a vase or a glass, and you're going to paint the outside of the glass. decorate it with fabrics and make it into something like a vase to hold your fake flowers or your pencil holder or something. That to me is crafting. Creating to me is more the artistic side of it, like using all the paints and pencils and crayons and mixing your supplies to create maybe on a surface like the trading card or a mixed media notebook or in an art journal or on a canvas panel. So I do feel like crafting and creating, although there's a lot of they mix sometimes, I do think that they're a bit different. And yeah, what do you think? I feel like I'm fumbling for words to try to describe what I'm getting at.
No, I agree. Yes, I'm trying to get my sewing machine to work here.
Go for it. No, I like both. And I would say I started out crafting. Well, I was quilting and scrapbooking. And then moved to more like Dollar Tree crafts. And I was stenciling for a very, very long time on surfaces. But then I really just fell in love with, partially because I ran out of room. I had so many stenciled surfaces that my husband was like, Grace, what are you going to do with all this stuff? Like I would come out of my craft room so proud, like, look what I made. And he'd be like, okay, but where are you going to put it? We have no more room on the walls, no more room in the basement. So I started working in art journals and mixed media pads as a way to create without creating more bulk for my house. Right. And I have fallen in love with that. I just love having books of my creative endeavors in books that I can open. It's almost like a little scrapbook of my own creativity. And I love that. So I've really turned more toward creating on papers, like the artist trading cards, and in journals, in junk journals, things like that. Partially out of like lack of space. I ran out of space for all the surfaces. And maybe everybody goes through that to some extent where we just run out of room.
Well, no, I really started out crafting as a scrapbooker, and I have all of these huge scrapbooks in a armoire thing. I never get them out. I never look at them. And that's why I started doing, repurposing an old book. It's almost as if it's a scrapbook of my life, but it's on a smaller basis.
Yeah.
It's easier to bring out and it's easier to see.
Right.
And, so I agree.
Yeah, I think it's really natural for us as humans to like, if this is part of our life on a regular basis, which I hope it is for you guys. I hope for all of you out there that we're encouraging you to do, not just to watch.
Right.
Because I find for myself, if I'm watching someone do something, admiring it, but not doing it myself, then I feel like a sense of emptiness, like, oh, I'm not doing that thing. And then that just doesn't end well. Like then I feel like I have a longing for something that I'm not making part of my life. So I hope you guys are making creativity part of your life on a regular basis, even if it's just in a notebook. Like even if you're just sketching with colored pencils in a notebook, it doesn't even have to be sketching anything particular like a bird. It can just be doodling colors together and trying to blend them. And that can be enough for your creative outlet to feel like, oh, wow, I did something cool today. You don't have to share it with anybody. You don't have to feel like it has to be perfect because it's just playing. It's literally just playing with your craft supplies. And I hope you guys do that more often. I hope that we're encouraging you to just bust out your stuff, use what you got, and have some fun with it.
Yes.
That's a real goal for me, for you guys who are watching us. I hope it just encourages you to use what you got and play. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to match. It doesn't have to meet any certain parameter other than it gave you 15 minutes of playtime with some colors.
Right.
That really is the end goal. All right, Anna's explaining her ATC thing. Let me see if I can get this comment. It's a big one, so it's going to cover us up for a minute. But if you're visual, seeing the comment may help you to understand it better. But she says it's a little calendar book that Taperlogy are selling. You get a small picture with a date on it and incorporate it into your own daily artist trading card. You are challenged to do something new every day. I was just going to say, as I was reading this, I was thinking, I think this is what Lindy was doing yesterday. Yeah, Lindy Tate from Taterbuggin did it last year and inspired many of us to try it this year. Many of us are doing it, and yet all our ATCs are individual and totally different, and it's great fun.
Oh,
Get
that's
after it, ladies. I love it.
that's awesome.
That's
That
good
is-
news, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. We
I'm
need
a-
we need more of that. Like women, I will talk, but I deal mostly with women. Men are welcome. Mr. Bob, you are welcome. But generally, I'm generally dealing with and hanging out with ladies.
right.
So I think that just from my own experience, we need more time to do stuff that feeds our soul.
I agree.
And creativity and playing with colors feeds my soul. Even if it's not
Yes.
perfect, even if you look at this and say, Grace, I would never have put those two colors together. No consequence to me. I don't mean to say I don't care, like I don't care what you think, but
Right.
and you shouldn't care. Is what my real point is, you shouldn't care if you put two colors together and you think, well, that doesn't really that's not really what I was going for. That is not the point. The point isn't how they look together. The point is that you had a creative outlet, you spent 15 minutes playing with your stuff, and now seeing those two colors together, you somehow fold that into your little toolbox, your creative toolbox, so that you know the next time you sit down not to use those two things together. And that's
Yes.
part of the practice, which the more you do it, the more confident you get, the more enjoyable it becomes. Yeah. So
Yes.
I hope we're all doing that just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, the colors I'm picking today, I don't think they go together at all, but it doesn't matter.
And it doesn't matter
It
because,
doesn't matter.
to you, they go together. And that is what, to me, creating is all about. It's what you like and not worrying about what someone else likes.
Right.
And
right.
finding your own style, finding your own way of doing things and not just copying what someone else is doing.
Yes, that's so key. That's so key. And part of it is the exploring part of it, right? Like just
Yes.
I may not be totally committed and loving the colors that I put together, but it's not necessarily just about the outcome. For me, it's about the process, the whole process of creating, just for the sake of it brings my heart joy.
Right.
Even if the end product doesn't bring me joy, I'm not going to focus on that. I have a lot of art journal pages that I look at and I'm like, what was I thinking? Like, what is that mess? But it's okay, because at the time, obviously, most of the time it has to do with me trying to figure out, can I use this set of stamps with these crayons? Do they work together well? Do they resist each other? The only way I'm going to learn all that is to put it down on a surface, whether it be paper or canvas or a notebook. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
The only way you're going to learn that is by doing it.
Yes.
Just like baking. If you don't bake and you feel like, oh, I'm not a confident baker because I don't know what to put together. Well, you're never going to become confident if you don't get out there into your kitchen and just start mixing things and seeing what you like and what you don't like and what your family likes. So
That's
it's
right.
like anything else. You just have to practice it. And the practice should be the joy.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, the practice should be the joy.
Yes.
Not the outcome. Yeah. So hold on. I want to see what I think there's some other comments coming in. Denise says we have too many supplies. She's agreeing with you, Carol. She said we all have too many supplies. Anne says she thinks there's a difference too between crafting and creating. I know I'm struggling to find the words to communicate that. And I do, I think about it a lot because I like to craft, but I also like to create with supplies on paper where there's no wood surface involved or no fake flowers or feathers, or it's just paper and colors. And I love combining papers and colors together. And that to me is more creative than crafting. I don't know. Right. It's hard to describe. Jennifer says she agrees though that there is a difference between creating and crafting. Okay, your hubby's piping in. He says, as if she didn't have enough projects, I bought a laser cutter for Christmas so I could help get involved with her crafting passion. It's so good. It's so good. What a good man. I love to hear that. Oh my gosh, that makes my heart happy. I've seen several creative friends whose husbands have gotten involved with the laser cutting, and I think it's a brilliant way to share in something that you like to do. Was this a surprise to you, or did he tell you he was going to do this?
No, it was a surprise. He doesn't know, but that's kind of what I have been hoping for, was to for some way for us to be able to do something together.
Yes.
And so he yes, he surprised me with it. It was my Christmas present, but of course he can't keep a secret, and so he was, I think he was as excited about it as I was, and so he had to set it all up, and we've been having a good time
Oh my gosh.
doing
That's
that together.
exciting. It's so exciting. So that'll open a whole new world of creativity for you guys.
Yes, yes.
So are you planning on building that into your business in some way? Have you gotten through like with some not to like narrow you down and say what are you doing with it, but have you had some ideas on how you might incorporate that into your future creativity?
Way too
Share with us.
many.
Yeah. No,
Way too
really.
many. It's like, okay, let's narrow this down and decide. I'm thinking about doing maybe a quarterly club or something. I've
Ooh.
cut out a little angel that she's holding a heart, and that would be great for Valentine's Day. And then I have a bunny that's in a he's diving into a box of carrots. And
Oh,
so,
cute.
yeah,
Cute.
yeah, and experimenting with some different painting techniques and stuff on those surfaces as well. So that's kind of our goal, and to figure out exactly what we want to do with it.
Oh my goodness. That is just fantastic. I'm thrilled for the two of you to have this new adventure together. It really is something that you can do together. There are a few out there, few creatives that I know of who have their husbands involved in helping with that. And I think it's a beautiful thing. Good for you guys. So those of you, again, ding, ding, ding. I hope that resonated. For some of you out there who love the wood cutouts, you're not seeing that here. That's just not something I'm not because I don't appreciate them. It's just not something that's a part of my world. So if you love them, another good reason to go follow Carol and her page and what their journey. I mean, this is going to be a new journey for you guys.
Yes.
How organic. A great way to meet a new person and to just join in her journey and her husband's journey on this creative endeavor that they're taking on. I love it. It's awesome. Oh, Jeannie just brought up a really good point. Jeannie, thank you for sharing. She says, to me, crafting is more following directions and not branching out to be truly original.
Ah, that's a great explanation. Yes.
It is. It's a really good distinction to make. And that really feeds into the colors, like me saying, I don't think these colors really go together. And you responding, it doesn't matter. It's about finding your own style, finding your own way of doing things. And you have to be a little adventurous to do that. You have to like say, I know that red and pink don't go together. Like that's the old thought that red and pink don't go together. But who made up that rule? Like if you like red
Yes.
and pink together, then girl, make it work. Put them together.
Well, and it's like, how will you ever know if you don't try?
Right.
Right. And you might find that you really like purple and green together, or something like that you would have never thought you would have liked before.
Right.
And to me, that's what creating is all about. Kind of
Right.
seeing things in a different way.
I absolutely agree. And your way, because it's uniquely yours, it's your, okay, not to get too philosophical on you, but God made us all to be different, and we each have our own individual voice that is uniquely ours. And you will not find that voice creatively if you don't start just playing in a book or playing on paper or
Yes.
whatever modality, like whatever way you like to create and play. I'm a huge fan of mixed media journals and pads because, like I said, you can stow it away easy and just put it up on a shelf. It doesn't take up a lot of room. But if you really love to work on canvases, go get yourself some canvases and
Right.
start exploring. Your creative personality can't come out if you don't unleash it. You have to, and the way to unleash it is just to do it, practice it every day or a couple of times a week if that's what you can afford for time.
Right.
Yeah, and I know some people can't. Like if I had to work on my dining room table, that would be extremely challenging. I'm very blessed to have a space dedicated to my creativity, and I know not everybody has it. But again, that's why the books are really good, because you can
Yes.
put a book in all your colors in like a little Rubbermaid tote and easily stow that, under the dining room table for dinner time, and then pull it
Right.
out and create when you're ready to.
Yes, I'm surprised my husband hasn't made the comment that my crafts have, exploded into our game room, into our living room, into our kitchen. Yeah, they're
Yep.
just kind of all over everywhere.
Yeah. That's okay though. That's the sign of a true creative. Yeah. That's the sign of a true. I love that he's jumping in and endeavoring on this with you and finding a way to participate. I think that's a beautiful thing. Go Bob. We're Bob fans. We are Bob fans here at the Comfy Nest with Grace. Jeannie says, I found your page, Carol, and I'm now following you. Get it?
Oh, awesome. Thank you
Making
so
new-
much.
Making
Thank
new friends and
Thank
connections.
you. Thank you.
It's good news.
Well, I'll show you. This is my second card.
Okay, let's see it. You have a beautiful feather, and it says, is it a bird cage with mushrooms inside?
Yes.
And it says inspire. I love it.
Yes. And
I
this
love
is
it.
all of the stuff that you sent me. I'm using all of everything that you sent. So it's so much fun. And just to kind of go, okay, what can I do with this? Oh, I love this. This is fun.
This is exactly what the Artist Trading Card Mystery Box group is about. Is we send the supplies off. Nobody knows what they're getting until they get it. So there are 4 of us curating the box, and we take turns curating the box. So if I'm curating the box, the other creatives, the other ladies who are doing it with me, they don't know what they're getting either. So it's legitimate when we open those boxes in front of you. If we didn't make the box, we have no idea what's in it. And then the challenge is to create with the things that this other creative sent you, who you may not have chosen those colors. That may not be your style of, like I said, I love vintage. I love old, decrepit, grungy things. And if that's not your style, that could be a real challenge to incorporate what I send to you with your own style. So it's a great way to grow together. You are doing a marvelous job with what was in that little package.
There's a lot.
Judy says we're getting a 2-for-1, a great way to learn some new tips. I love it. That's great. Oh, Felicia's recommending a book. Hold on. I'll get a look at this comment. There's a great book by Jordan Raynor. Raynor. I hope I said that right. That gives me perspective about creating. The title of the book is called To Create. So if someone's looking for some good reading material, Felicia is suggesting this book. You can take a little screenshot of the screen right now. I'll leave that up for a second so you can do that. And then you can look up the book in whatever way that you order and buy books. Called To Create by Jordan Raynor. Miss Felicia, thank you for sharing that. You're the bomb.com. Okay, Kim is offering this comment. I think with crafting, I have the finished project in mind, but when creating, I don't necessarily have a connection to the outcome. That kind of takes my breath away. Kim, you've been hanging out. Kim is a member of the Craft Club too. And I'm just loving that comment so much, because it's what we talk about in the group, and whether Kim is doing that, influence of the group or not, but it is what we would encourage you to do, is create without a huge mental investment on what the outcome should be. Because as someone else said, if you're following directions, you know what the outcome is going to be. You're just following what's done. But when we create, I always encourage the ladies, like, put your own personal flair on this. If you don't like the colors that I'm showcasing to you in this workshop, choose your own colors. If you don't like the patterns, choose your own patterns. Use the stuff. You don't have to buy this stamp because I have this stamp. Use the stamp that you have on hand. And inevitably, even though we're basically trying to make the same thing, they all come out different because we all have different styles and supplies and all that. But I love what she said about it's about letting go of the connection to the outcome, your investment in the outcome.
Yeah. I had a friend in elementary school, and I will never forget this. And that was a very, very long time ago for me. She was coloring an elephant bright pink.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, why would you color an elephant? Isn't bright pink, an elephant is gray. And she just responded with, well, my elephant is bright pink. And it's like, that's the way I want it to be. And I was like, Okay.
Do you
And so
remember her name?
yeah,
This is
her
when you were.
name, yeah, oh yes. Her name was Jennifer Parks. And she had her own style and she did not let anyone else influence her in what the color of her elephant should be.
Jennifer
And
Park.
I've always thought of that. Your Christmas tree doesn't have to be green.
Yes.
Your flowers don't have to be pink. You just need to use your own style and find and use your own colors, I guess.
Yeah, and I love that you shared that story. First of all, Jennifer, wherever you are, we love you for your pink elephant.
That's
He and that the fact that it's coming up however many years later, hopefully can be an inspiration to some of you to just seriously just let your own personality come out in whatever combination. The difficulty is you guys see us create and you're watching us do something, and then I hope it doesn't make you feel like, oh well, I couldn't do that, or I wouldn't have come up with that on my own. You wouldn't have come up with this on your own. Nobody would. I probably wouldn't come up with this again. If you asked me to do this again next week, it would look completely different.
right.
But that's the beauty of creativity, is that every single project is different. Every single little creative session that you have is different. The focus should be on the joy that the creativity brings you, not on the outcome of the project.
Right.
So it's getting exactly at what Kim said and what you're adding with Miss Jennifer. If it's a pink elephant you love, girls, then make a pink elephant.
That's right.
You depict the world as you want to see it. It's all, it's not, we're not altering reality. It's not like all elephants have now become pink and we've rocked the world. The animal world is now changed forever. It's just in your little book. So let your
Yes.
elephant be pink. Let it wear a
Right.
crown if you want your elephant to have a crown.
Yes.
Or, a diamond necklace or lacrosse stick in her hand. It doesn't matter. It can be whatever you want. I tried to think of something totally unrelated that would be, okay, yeah, an elephant with a lacrosse stick. Why not? If you love lacrosse, make it happen, girl. Yeah, well, you'll find that encouragement. It sounds like both at Carol's page and my page, you'll always find us encouraging you to just explore and do the unusual.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you always feel like you have permission to do the unusual. You get it from me anyway. I'm giving you permission. I go through sometimes, I'm a sentimental fool. I have some notebooks from my kids from past years in school that have their notes in it for like history class, but they always have some sketches in it and they crack me up, like a sketch of a dinosaur or a pirate. I have 2 boys, so it's usually boy stuff, race car, I can't throw them out. I can't even throw them out. I don't have dates on them. And sometimes I don't even know which child made it. I don't know if it was Landon or Gannon that drew that dinosaur. I can't throw it out because it's like just a moment in their time that their little hand took pencil to paper and etched out what they were thinking about the
Yes.
world. And sometimes they are so funny. I'm going to try to find one of them and share a photo of it on the page later. Some of them are so funny, like monsters with big gangly teeth. And it's like, oh, their minds, like where their minds go, it blows me away. Like, who is this child? Where did this come from? But it's exciting to see them, have times of creativity too. I think school can sometimes, like the standard American school education system, if you're a teacher, please don't be offended by this. It's just an observation with my 2 children. My 2 children are in high school and they don't take art classes. Their schedules are really pretty full trying to get all the college prep stuff in, like, because their intention is to go to college. So to fit all the number of histories and humanities and sciences and maths in, they don't get a lot of exposure to art, which is too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think in a way, I know this is very deep, but in a way, in their formative years, during the high school years, that the fact that they're not getting any exposure to to art, it limits their mental capacity of what art and creativity can be for them in the future. Not everyone is going to be an artist, a professional artist. Most of us will never be a professional artist. Most of us will not be published in a book or in an advertisement or in a movie. Like, we're not going to make graphics that appear in movies like Walt Disney's. Most of us will never reach that level. But I don't think art is meant for that. I think art is meant to nourish us in our souls. I think it's meant to give us peace and joy and relaxation. And so the fact that kids in high school or in elementary school, and I don't think it's so much in elementary, but I think once they start getting to middle school, high school level, they don't come home with turkeys made out of their hand. They don't come home with, like they used to when they were in elementary school. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
That whole exploration of making things out of pasta, mixed media. That's like the earliest vision of mixed media. You gluing pasta pieces to a paper to make a pumpkin. That is like the earliest form of mixed media. And glory be, they should get that through all the way through their primary school years, all the way through 12th grade. I think it should be required. I'm a huge fan of the arts for that reason. And I just don't think kids get enough of it, unfortunately. Yeah, that's my little soapbox for the day, girls. Sorry. Didn't mean to be preachy. I'm always for the performing and the, for the arts. I'll always support that. Linda says she loves seeing me with my guest. Yay, I'm so glad that you're here, Linda. We're happy to make your acquaintance and have you here hanging out with us. Paula says, I've been wanting to try the cards, so it's been fun watching. Oh, Jeannie wants to make a house-shaped book. She found a house coloring pages to use as a template. Ooh, that's a really smart idea. I have a bunch of those adult coloring books. Who uses them? I would love to hear from you guys. I'll tell you the way I use them. It's probably not the traditional way to use them. I love that Jeannie is thinking about using them as a template to make a house-shaped book. I think that's brilliant. I usually tear them out and use them for pages in my junk journals because they make really pretty, interesting pages in junk journals, I think. So that's how I tend to use them. But I would love to hear that. Who's coloring on a regular basis? It's a really good outlet for creativity. And that travels well. You can throw a little coloring book and some pencils into a little tote bag and bring it on a long car trip or on a plane ride and just color away. Totally doable. All right. My stamps aren't coming out really dark. Like they're not really showing really well. So I'm using a marker to fortify the shape. That's what I've come down to. Jennifer says, I agree with you. My daughter is a professional artist and went to college for art, but had to make sacrifice in high school to take art classes. Yes, a lot of people have to do that to get those, like, the college prep courses in, or just even the state requirements. I know every state is different, but even to just get the state requirements in to get your diploma. Yes. Missy says, this has been a fun morning. Yay, I'm so glad, Missy. I made an ATC yesterday, which is an artist trading card for those of you just coming in, an ATC yesterday using only my tea bag and a tea cover. We would love to see it, Missy. Share it in one of the groups. Please take a photo. We always want to see your projects, ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there. Do you, Carol, for your business page, do you have a group, like a private or public group associated with your business page that people can share their project photos? Where are you with that?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Like I said, when I start the Bible journaling workshop, that I want to incorporate a private Facebook group so that people don't feel like it's just going out to, to everyone.
Yes.
So, yes.
Yeah. And that it really does give like a safe. So on Facebook, a group can be private, meaning only the people who are in the group can see what's happening in the group, which is the way I have my group set up. It can be private, but still visible to the public, meaning you can see that I have a group called the Crafty Chicks Club. That's my free group. Right. But only the people in the Crafty Chicks Club can share photos and comment on the photos and all that stuff. So it's the best of both worlds. You can find the Crafty Chicks Club and join it. It's a free group where you can just go in, and that's a great place to share. You probably already belong, a lot of you, to other craft clubs where you can share your project photos and get comments and ask questions and get feedback. But it's a really great way, again, to make really legitimate, organic connections with other creative, like-minded people who like to create on a regular basis. So I always encourage you, even if it's not my free group or my paid group, doesn't matter. Just find a group that you love and join. You may not know if you love it or not until you join it and hang out there for a while. And you may find that the vibe is not your vibe. Believe you me, there's hundreds of art groups on social media that you can find and try it on for a little while, and you can always leave if it's not your vibe, if you don't like it. Because there are some that are specific to certain types of art, like watercolor groups. There are groups for resin arts. There are groups for mixed media. There are groups for decoupaging alone. If you love to decoupage, there are all kinds of groups out there. But we would love to see your projects. And especially, I can definitely say in my group, the Crafty Chicks Club, you can come and share your project photos we want to see. Debbie says, I hopped on late. Debbie's coming in from Florida, one of our regular Crafty Chicks here. She hopped on late. I'm interested in Bible journaling and I need to look you up, says Debbie. Yes,
awesome.
Debbie Gravoy. Go find Carol. I'm going to share her link in the comments again for those of you just coming in. So it's right there close to you in the comments. Anne says, I use adult coloring books to help me maintain my fine motor skills, which are diminished because of MS. Even just coloring within the lines helps me to practice brain to hand control and dexterity. I find, yeah, no kidding. I find coloring relaxes me too. It's a win-win. And first of all, God bless you with your MS. And, it is what it is. So I have a chronic condition too. It is what it is. I try to find joy in life, even though it can be a struggle and it does present obstacles. You are doing just that, Anne, by using your creativity and your coloring book to create not only for your physical, like you said, you're practicing brain to hand control and dexterity. That's a beautiful thing, but it's also relaxing you and feeding your soul.
Yes.
Good on you, Anne. I'm so glad you shared that because I hope it encourages other people who may have dexterity issues, whether it be arthritis or, all the ailments that we get. If it's not one, it's another. If you're struggling with an ailment that holds you back, I bet there's an art form out there that you can use to strengthen yourself physically and inside too, and emotionally. Yeah.
Okay, I finished my third card.
Girls, wait, let's just repeat what we always repeat here. No judgment here. Listen, she is lapping me with her progress. I want to see your third card, please.
Okay, this one is very, very simple. It's nothing but a napkin.
Oh, so pretty.
And then I happen to have this on my desk because it's going in my little journal. And it was a wristband from a trip that I took with my grandson. And it says guest.
It does, yeah.
So this card will always remind me that I am a guest on Grace's show. And so, yeah. And like I said, it's not anything difficult.
It's gorgeous though. It's a napkin decoupaged on the card with your specific band put around it. The colors match stinking perfectly.
I know. I saw it and it was like, oh my gosh, I have to do that. So, it doesn't have to be complicated.
No.
It could be something, something very simple as a napkin, a little saying. And I just did a little bit of paint there and a little bit of little stamping. And that was it. Yes.
Get it, girl. I love it. I will show you my progress. It's not much, but I'm going to show you what I got. And I do want to tell you more, let's focus more on, here's what I was thinking. When we were getting together today, I'm like, what do I want to do? What do I want to work on? I thought, I don't use my gelatos very often. I want to play with them. So I just started with that. Gelatos. I haven't used them. I want to play with them. And then I thought, I have a ton of stamps that I don't use very often. So I grabbed, these are little birdies. It's the Comfy Nest. I love birds.
I love
so I'm going to grab my birdie stamps. Yeah, I'm going to grab some birdies. So this one I stamped right. I did put paper. So I started with my gelatos, put down some paper because it feels naked without paper to me. That's just me. I love collaging papers. And then I just stamped that little birdie right on there. And I think what I'm going to do is probably color that in a little bit with some like stickles or something. I'm not done with
Mhm.
any of them, but that's where I'm going with that one. And then on these two, I actually stamped the stamp on watercolor paper.
Mhm.
So I stamped a pattern on the paper first so that the
Ah,
pattern shows through the bird. Then I stamped the bird on top. So that one has little diamonds all over his
very
body.
cool.
And then I cut them out. And then I think what I'll do, same thing here. We have gelatos, we have a little stamping, a little paper. I think I'm going to collage these on with a little bit of fabric because I love texture. I love
Yeah.
like a little bit of texture underneath the focal point. So I will, they're not done, but I wanted to show you my progress anyway. And I will finish them and I will share them, here on the page. Carol, if you don't mind, if you would please, when we're done here today, which we're going to be wrapping up soon, so just hang tight for a minute. If you would mind sharing a photo of your cards so that
Okay.
I can share it on the page and remind everybody, if they didn't see our time together and they want to hang out with us, they can catch the replay to get to know Carol a little bit better and just have some great girly art time. Thank you, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for saying
It,
yes.
it has been a blast. I have been looking forward to this for weeks. And so, yes, I've just totally enjoyed it. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yes.
And I just, I just hope everyone will just try to be creative today. And if it's nothing but a magazine, just tearing out different colors and putting them together, just use whatever you have and enjoy.
Yes, well said. That's a great way to wrap up today. Thank you to everybody who's out there who's been hanging out with us, especially those of you who took a moment to comment, either telling us where you came in from or what your weather was, or actually conversing with us about all these topics. We had actually really great conversation today. You are a
Yes.
great conversationalist, Miss Carol.
Thank you.
We cannot go without saying thank you to Bob for being here with us as well. We really appreciated having his company in the comments. You guys totally rock. Until next time with Guest in the Nest, thank you everybody for being here. Have a blessed day. Carol, I'll be seeing you in the Nook for sure.
Yes, definitely.
All
Definitely.
right. Blessings, my friend. Take care.
All right. Thank you very much. Bye-bye, everybody.